We're live here on Popcorn Planet, but I had to break for some breaking movie news because we just watched the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special trailer, which looks so much fun, guys. Oh my God, go watch the trailer. Just released on YouTube. Huge cameo celebrity surprise that shocked me, but looked adorable. But beyond that, the big breaking news today, as a nerd, as someone who's been dying for DC to get their ish together, they just announced that James Gunn and Peter Safran are now named as the co-chairmen and CEOs of DC Studios. They are turning it from DC Films to DC Studios, basically the DCU, or like DCS, like Marvel Studios.
Yes.
They are taking a playbook. The new in charge, Zaslav, who's in charge of Warner Brothers, has now enlisted James Gunn. He's been on a quest to find a Kevin Feige type to take over DC and help us have a clear, line of films and connections to Superman, etc. And I'm just so excited because, my God, finally, James Gunn's been doing really good work. Peacemaker on HBO is a lot of fun, guys. If you haven't watched it, I've reported on here on my Movie World channel. We're live on Popcorn Planet, but check out Movie World Plus where we do this content. If you're watching Movie World Plus, I wanted to make sure you got my nerd out for a minute while we're in between this trial coverage of, I think this is amazing news. This is a huge get for DC, in my opinion, because they've been out there trying to get executives, but now they got a celebrity executive. This feels very like Jon Favreau when Star Wars got him to take over Mandalorian, and then he sort of was like, we're going to lead this, him and Dave Filoni. Now, I'm not as familiar with Peter Safran. I know he's sort of defended Amber being an Aquaman, which annoys me. He did Aquaman, but he also worked on a lot of the Conjuring films and whatnot. But yeah, it's interesting. Dan Lin, who did the Lego movie and a bunch of other stuff, was in the running, but apparently once they got James Gunn willing to do it, it seems like... so here's the breakdown. They both have new titles of co-chairman, chief executive officers of DC Studios, overseeing all creative direction of the DC universe across film, TV, and animation. They're in charge of all of it now. The duo will report to Zaslav, so they're right to the top, who will also be close correspondents with Warner Brothers Film Group chairs Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdy on such matters, marketing, distribution, capital spend, just so that everyone's on the same page. Gunn and Safran start effective November 1st. Damn!
Yeah!
What happened here,
birthday.
buzz was intense. That Safran was going to get the job last week. Then insiders told us that wasn't true. Then the first look deal from his company was just re-up. Turns out Safran didn't want to run DC alone unless there was a creative face. That being his Peacemaker and Suicide Squad partner, Gunn. In his new role, Gunn is exclusive to Warner Brothers Discovery DC. No more Marvel. Oh my goodness. So he's like, Guardians 3 is it. He's going to probably finish the post. They're probably getting pretty close. That's it. He's then going to tap out from Marvel. He can only direct TV series and movies for Warner and Discovery. Wow, that is huge, Lewis. Guys, that's huge. He's like, all right, I'm only going to do superhero movies with DC. But what a gig to take. The model that Zaslav and DeLuca were eyeing here, and the Gunn Safran, was one akin to Pixar, where there's a creative and a business face to the new DC label. So that means Safran will handle all business decisions, while Gunn will face all creative decisions. Meanwhile, Safran, the company, will continue to run by its president of production, John Rickard, blah, 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 blah. Interesting. Wow. So Gunn and Safran were helping Zaslav with the DC Films boss search, hence how they became involved. Dan Lin was the one who seemed to be up to it, but we hear that Discovery untangling him from his deal at Universal was a hard feat. Man, he must be so pissed at Universal. Safran was easier to incorporate in the fold as he had a first look deal in the Burbank lot. Duo will work closely with blah, 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 other people. He's looking for a new head of Warner Brothers Animation. More stuff happening over on Warner Brothers, but man, Gunn and Safran will spearhead and develop and execute a long-term plan. Oh my God, Lewis, it's happening! James Gunn's going to make a long-term plan for the many properties licensed from DC Comics, focused on continuing the tradition of DC storytelling across all mediums while building a sustainable growth business of the franchise. Both Gunn and Safran, extensive experience. I mean, he brought the Guardians out of nowhere and made that work for Marvel. James Gunn was like one of that seemed only filmmakers that Feige sort of helped and then let do his own thing, right? So this is a massive nerd movie adjustment. DC is among the most entertaining. It's true. They have the best characters: Lewis, Superman, Batman, Flash, Wonder Woman, these Green Lantern. These are amazing characters that I feel like have still never been fully tapped. And as I'm getting bored of the Marvel worlds, it'll be really interesting to see someone creatively come in, which I think he did with Peacemaker. He did with Guardians. This is a huge news for nerds and for film. A lot of statements and things coming in. But I'm still in shock. This is a baller move on James Gunn. I just got to say personally, to see this guy go from the bottom, right? He like got just dropped by everybody. Disney fires him over old tweets he made that were not the best tweets. But then this dude was able to crawl his way back, get the whole cast behind him, got Disney to like bring him back in the fold. And then he's like, cool, I'll work with you. And then he's like, oh, Disney, peace. I'm going to go do it over with your biggest competitor over at DC and take the reins. It's unbelievable to see, and good on him to take such a gig. It's sort of a really, I imagine, such a challenging undertaking, but so exciting. I know he's a big DC fan. So what this means for the future, who knows? But I just feel confident someone with a good storytelling. He's really about the story, the characters, the heart. To know that he's finally doing that is so exciting. We're getting back to trial. So let me wrap this up as we get back to our trial coverage here. But Lewis, before as we get there, quickly, your final thought on this, Lewis.
Oh my God, Henry Cavill's back, Superman's back, James Gunn. Too much good news for DC. The studio there, they treat Nuke the Fridge and me very nicely. I'm so happy to be part of it. As Nuke the Fridge led the box office with the quote, best superhero movies in years for Black Adam this weekend. If you saw that quote was mine. Nuke the Fridge on the bottom. Thank you for welcoming us. And this is the beginning.
Lewis made it. It was awesome. Big. It was a big deal. Congrats, buddy.
Yeah, Movie World, baby. Movie World.
I'm still here talking movies. I've tried to fit it all. So thank you here on Popcorn Planet for bearing with me as I nerd out from time to time when you have such a big, this is a big story. Black Adam wasn't perfect, but it was fun. The spoiler alert, it's out there now. The Superman cameo gave me so much faith. I really hope that James Gunn can, I tweeted it too. I want a Peacemaker Black Adam moment, Lewis, is really what I want. I want to see them come together in some way to see what happens, to see the Cena versus The Rock in some sort of silly, fun moment in the DC universe. But
Johnny Depp is Joker. Johnny Depp is Joker in the DC.
Johnny Depp is Joker. Now. Sure, we got a lot of opportunities now because James Gunn is in charge. Kim, Lauren, I'll get your thoughts to say, but I'm quickly clipping this to post it to YouTube on Movie World. I want to hear what you guys think. Movie World, all my nerds, hit up Movie World Plus. If you aren't subscribed there yet, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for all alerts, smash that like button, and tell me what you think. Is this a game changer? Do you think this is going to make the Snyder Army pissed? I mean, James and Zach had a good relationship, but then Zach got greedy and started sending his fans to tank Suicide Squad. I bet you James is like, nah, I'll remember that. Nice try, Snyder fans. Now that's called karma, and you're going to get it big time now because I think James is going to go his own direction with new directors, new writers, and I can't wait. Oh my God, bring it on. Thank you, James Gunn. This is epic.